Rolling live. What's up, everyone? Aaron Nagler here with Cheesehead TV, coming to you live on Tuesday afternoon. The news, obviously, being that Devon House has retired as a Green Bay Packer. I saw some derision in my Twitter mentions today about House, but nothing but love here, man. I thought he was an excellent Packer, acquitted himself well. And look, was he Revis in his prime? No. Of course not. But he played his ass off for the Packers. Not on some, great defenses either. But he carried the G, as we like to say around here. So hats off to Devon House. Happy to see he's retiring as a Packer. You could tell from his Twitter feed how much it meant to him. So, yeah, nothing but respect. What's up, Mark? Tony, what's up? Yo. Lacy to the XFL. Bryson, is that a thing? I hope so, man. I would love to see Eddie Lacy back on a football field. I loved watching him play. William Saunders, happy for my hometown man. Congrats, Devon. I hear you, buddy. Ready for the industrial complex known as the NFL draft. Nicholas, I have long said the media surrounding the NFL draft, which has grown exponentially over the last decade or so, is the draft industrial complex. And it is something that must be actively, if not fought, then at least tempered somewhat in our expectations and or consumption. I love everyone who covers the draft. I know people are insatiable about it. There is certainly a unquenchable thirst for draft knowledge, draft info, etc. To me, it gets to be a bit ridiculous. I'm fine watching tape and looking at guys and seeing who needs what and where guys might go in a mock and etc. But the absurdity of the draft season, it will be upon us soon enough. It's not quite here yet, but when we get into mock number 78.5, we'll certainly be arriving. And, I get it. Like I said, I love the draft. I love all the content created around it. Just gets to be a bit much. Aaron, what are your thoughts if the Packers win in the next season with Summers, Burks, and Bolton at inside linebacker? I think they got a big problem on their hands if that were to be the case. I'll be absolutely shocked if that is how they go about things. But Graham's the best tight end on the team. Do you want the team to get worse? Graham's not the best tight end on the team. Jay Sternberg is the best tight end on the team, and he's only going to get better. I think Robert Tonyan's better than Jimmy Graham at this point. I mean, don't let one game against Seattle where he caught 3 third-down conversions finally fool you into thinking that he's suddenly a key component. He can't get separation. He can't do anything after the catch, except on the odd occasion where maybe a linebacker's out of position or a safety slips up. No, his best days are behind him, and it is time. It is past time to move on and get better, younger, faster, more athletic at the position. His one attribute when they signed him as a free agent was that he could go get jump balls in the end zone. He came off a season having 10 touchdowns because Russell Wilson threw 50-50 balls. Then he comes and plays with a quarterback who won't throw 50-50 balls unless it's a free play. And his ability to get the defense to jump has diminished and or been negated over the last 2 years. So I think Jimmy Graham has, 5 touchdowns in the last 2 years? No, it is past time. And my great fear this offseason is that Gutekunst somehow will justify himself keeping Jimmy Graham around one more year when he should have let him go last season. Jake, thanks for the super chat. Marcel Spears is my inside linebacker draft crush. Hey, man, we've all got him. You guys know Kenneth Murray is mine. But any athletic, sideline to sideline, able to turn his hips but also arrive with a nasty demeanor, that's a guy I want on my team. No doubt about it. Saw the NFC North cap issue from Cheesehead TV. You think Robinson becomes available? Lucas, I don't. I skimmed over it, and I saw Robinson in there, and I thought, I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they're working on an extension for Robinson as we speak. But you never know. Never say never. But I think there are guys that will become available, and I do think they'll allow somebody like Nikowski, the linebacker. I think they'll allow him to walk. But, yeah, Robinson being a cap casualty, I doubt it. Don't pay Kevin King. And then someone says, King shouldn't cost high dollar. And then Yadig says, even then, don't pay him. Yeah, no, let talented guys walk. You guys, crazy. You fans, you just hate on everybody. Kevin King's so much better than most internet commentators give him credit for. Is he outstanding? No. Is he a premier corner? No. But as a compliment to Jair Alexander, he's very, very good. And yeah, they should pay him and keep him around. You guys are crazy. Do you have any expectations for the wide receiver the Pack signed after the season? No, Patrick, I don't. Let's get Darius Slay if possible. Ooh, that'd be crazy, but I think that's pretty fantasy football-ish. Darius Slay, if he does become available, is going to get paid big money, and I don't see the Packers going that route. Nags, I see Rodgers' cap hit jumps to $39 million next year. Do you think he will be asked to renegotiate? Well, Einhorn, you got to remember, if you're talking about 2020, they already converted his roster bonus into a signing bonus, which gave him $11 million in cap space. So, yeah, no, I don't. That's about the extent of what they'll do to Rodgers' contract. But if you're talking about 2021, maybe they do some kind of adjustment. But at some point they're going to have to pay it. And this is a team that has traditionally wanted to pay as they go. So I don't think they'll touch. They'll do as little as possible to Rodgers' contract over the final length of it. I think they'll try and just pay it out because they have to. Do you expect any changes from Pettine's scheme? Ryan, not drastic ones. I think some of it will depend on what kind of work Gutekunst does in the offseason. There's a reason that Pettine likes so many defensive backs on the field because he prefers to have somebody like Ibrahim Campbell or Raven Green out there rather than a Oren Burks or Ty Summers or whoever. Now, if that makeup changes as far as the talent that's available to him, maybe the personnel stuff switches up a little bit. But as far as noticeable adjustments and or changes to the scheme itself, I would be surprised if there was much of anything done. Slay wants money. Yeah, exactly, Lucas. Thanks. Whose brew you're drinking? Anybody? Let's see. Cheesehead TV. You could, if you are a potential sponsor, I spoke to one today. Not a brewery or a beer, but a potential sponsor. If you're out there and you're thinking, hey, this guy sits online every day chatting with Packers fans, a captive audience every single day of the offseason. We carry the G around here, and we could be carrying your brand of beverage right here. But right now, it's Cheesehead TV. Hey, Aaron, with inside linebacker not a premium position and offensive tackle, wide receiver, and other positions having good talent this year, could you see Green Bay passing on inside linebacker early in the draft? Yes and no. I'm interested to see if Gutekunst follows kind of the line of thinking you're presenting there, which clearly Ted Thompson subscribed to, which was that inside linebacker is something you could get by with. As far as drafting somebody, say, in the fourth round and having him outplay his draft position, as they did with Blake Martinez. I tend to think it's high time they find someone who can go sideline to sideline, play 3 downs, and kind of maybe not solve the position, but definitely give them a player there. They've gotten by, so to speak, for a long time at inside linebacker. And picking at 30 might give them an opportunity to find someone if the quarterbacks and tackles, like you're saying, premier positions, they get drafted early, maybe push somebody down to them. But, this is totally personal on my end. I'm so sick of just getting by at inside linebackers. I really wanted them to take, what's his name? It's all blending together. The Jacksonville linebacker, who's they passed on at the last minute because of the knee issue, who has now gone on to be a great linebacker in the league. Can't believe I'm totally forgetting his name. But they passed on him. They've kicked the can down the road at inside linebacker for so long, and they've gotten what they've paid for, essentially. I just would like just one time to have a defense where they have that guy, Jack. That was it, Jack. Have a linebacker who can not, get engulfed by guards, who does a great job at diagnosing. It goes sideline to sideline. That's just one time. That's all I want. Louis, thank you for the super chat. Do you think KJ Hill or JJ will be available at 30? JJ, I think either one of them could be there, I think. It's so early, though. It's still so early. We'll see. The combine's going to come. Guys are going to run, and their draft stock's going to go up or down, and we'll be talking about it for the next month and a half. Merck, 1987, thank you for the super chat. Do you see Gutekunst trading up this year? Do we have the draft capital to do that? They have some. They don't have a ton, especially since they're drafting so late in each round. If there's someone they love, maybe he tries to get up there, but I tend to think he'll probably allow or want to allow the draft to fall to him. That's not to say, dismiss it out of hand, but I don't think he's going to be quite as aggressive in that regard. Oh boy, people are saying things like trade Rodgers for San Diego quarterback and they're number one this year. No, they're not trading Rodgers. They would set off a bomb in their cap if they traded Rodgers. No, they're not trading Rodgers. People keep talking about Robbie Anderson, but what about Philip Dorsett? Former first-round pick would be cheaper too. Kevin, that is the type of signing I'm talking about when I say I doubt they wade into those first 48, 72 hours of free agency. They let things settle down, and that is a perfect example of the type of signing I expect to see in free agency this year. I don't think they're going to go hog wild like they did last year. I think they are going to let Robbie Anderson get paid by somebody else because I think that's exactly what will happen. And then they will go get somebody like Dorsett. I think that makes a world of sense. But yeah, paying big money day 1 or 2 for Robbie Anderson just doesn't seem like the solution at all. Brian Bulaga, Iowa. Thank you, Jared. Aaron, if at 30 the Packers have the preferred inside linebacker on the board as well as preferred future offensive tackle to replace Bulaga, who do you think they take? Well, that's a great question. I tend to think they'll probably take the tackle just because they're a lot harder to find, as we were talking about before. Again, personally, I want an inside linebacker. I'm sick of it. But realistically, in that scenario, they undoubtedly take the tackle. If you've watched offensive line play around the league for any length of time, you've seen it really deteriorate. It's really hard to find talent at the line in general, but offensive tackle in particular. So, yeah, I would be surprised if they passed on that opportunity. How is Robbie Anderson that different from MVS? Ooh, Doug, he's much better at this point. I mean, that's not to say that MVS can't grow into that, but he's much better. Franchise tag Kumaro. All right, Kevin, stop drinking so early in the evening. I mean, we got a long way to go. I mean, you got to hit the bar yet. You got to tip your waitress. I mean, man, dude, save it, dude, save it. Saw Nick Perry on a milk carton the other day. Tim, cold, but true. What round compensatory pick will we get for Martinez? Depends on the contract he signs and then the amount of playing time he gets. Mostly, though, it comes down to the contract. I think it could be a pretty decent one. My guess would be a 4th round pick, but in the NFL, it'll probably end up like a 7th rounder for all I know. But my guess is like around a 4th rounder. The highest you can get is a 3rd, and I don't think they'll get that. But I do think they could get a 4th. Let's see. Hey there, Aaron. Doug Rob's piece on ESPN regarding cap stuff, clipping Graham and Taylor. Did you read it, and do you agree with his assessment, Corey? I did read it. I did put up my video earlier, my deep dive into the Jimmy Graham situation here at Cheesehead TV's YouTube channel. Check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, I agree with pretty much everything Rob wrote there over on the mothership. Pretty spot on, pretty straightforward. I think there's a case for keeping Taylor around as insurance, but they just paid Lucas Patrick to be their interior swing guy. So if you got those starters set and Patrick's getting paid, it makes sense to move on from Taylor. It's unfortunate because I like Lane a lot, but yeah, I very much think though that's the route they're going to go. Okay, everybody, I'm going to have to keep it short today. I'm so sorry. But I got someplace to be. I got to take on a Patreon member tonight. It's my next Madden throwdowns tonight. So I got to get home. But I can't thank you guys enough for sitting and chatting here on a Tuesday afternoon. If you want to become a patron of Cheesehead TV, head to patreon.com/CheeseheadTV. All we ask is $5 a month. It supports everything we do here, both the YouTube channel, everything on the website, everything we do, content, social, etc. And hey, if you can't do that, I understand, but please do me a favor and hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends, tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we're devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.